I have to give Jess some credit because Jess Hilarious is a brave soul to air out your job and basically put them on blast, and then having the bravery to come back to work the next day and try to have a conversation, which should have been behind closed doors. But let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 bringing you another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, we're going to go ahead and get into this whole Breakfast Club fiasco. As you guys may or may not know, I posted Jess live the other day. So we're going to kind of work backwards because I want to play their discussion, what they had today. And then we can go ahead and move into what Jess said yesterday, because I feel like they avoided a lot of things. Like, Jess said a lot during that live, and I feel like they're trying to pacify the situation. However, again, this is not professional. All of this should have been done behind the scenes. We should have never known about this. Yes, we've been talking about it on the internet for a while, saying that Loren seems like she is the replacement, or not everybody was saying she should replace Jess, but they were saying like, hey, I like what she adds to the show. A lot of people were really feeling Loren's style. You know, she does have that journalistic background. I'm going to say something that's not really popular, and I don't think you guys realize this. When they were looking to replace Angela Yee, they knew necessarily they couldn't get an Angela Yee. So they're all like, okay, well, we got to just put somebody in there who's a personality, right? So they got Jess Hilarious. And Jess Hilarious is a personality. Whether you think she's funny or not, she's a personality, right? Now, here's the thing. When Loren took her, replaced her while she was on maternity leave, they realized, oh, wait, hold on. I think we need an actual journalist. We don't need another, funny person or comedian. Because what you guys don't know, you guys are thinking that she's in competition with Loren. No, actually, Jess Peer is actually Charlamagne. Because Charlamagne and Jess Hilarious give off the same energy. Jess Hilarious and Charlamagne, they give off the same energy. Especially with Charlamagne being, a woman, they give off the same energy. All right, but let's go ahead and get into this Breakfast Club video, and let's start. So they're addressing the drama. So this is before Loren joined on. So this is just Jess, Charlamagne, and DJ Envy. Let's go. I forgot there's a little delay, so I was waiting for y'all to catch the shade. But I mean, he's messy. Yeah, he is the gossip queen. Are we denying it? I mean, it is what it is, right, y'all? And shout out to everybody coming in the room. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. All right, let's start. Scrolling, she wasn't even engaging or even caring what's going on. So people seen that, and that's what really got the internet talking. The crazy part, and I'm going to let it play, but the crazy part is that she doesn't even realize how unprofessional this is. You don't hear, like, what's another panel? You don't hear, like, The View talking about each other online and stuff like that. You don't hear First Take them talking about each other. Well, no, that's a lie. Stephen A. did talk about Sharon Sharp. But anyway, it's not professional for what she did, and especially the way she went about it. Like, if you have an issue at work, well, no, that Stephen A. would still work, because that was more about Club Shay Shay, not the show. But again, you don't talk about your show that you work on openly to the public. And yeah, we knew that there was a problem with Loren being there and you didn't like that. It was obvious. It was apparent, right? However, you don't go on the internet and talk about it. You don't put your whole job on blast. If anything, you have a meeting with your people and tell them like, hey, this is my grievances, this is what's going on, and you have a discussion with them in a meeting, in a private setting. You don't come to the internet and put it on blast. So as I'm understanding, what it is that Loren got hired on as a producer. She wasn't supposed to be a fourth host. She's a producer. So when they need to have some kind of journalist come in and deliver information, that's when Loren comes on camera. Now, what should have happened if she's just a producer, then it should be given to Jess, DJ Envy, or Charlamagne. Now, if Jess, DJ Envy, or Charlamagne can't deliver news, then that means there's a problem, which, i.e., that's when Loren comes in and delivers the news because they need her there to deliver that kind of stuff. When I noticed that Loren was really taking on the role of trying to help Wendy Williams and getting the exclusives, and then they said Loren went down there to Wendy Williams' facility where she's at the memory bank. When Loren went there and not just taking any initiative to like really be a part of the whole Wendy thing, it's just like when you're working a regular 9 to 5, right? Yes, Jess does her job, right? She does her job. However, if they see the next person taking the initiative and going the extra mile and going above and beyond, they're going to highlight that person. That's it. And again, Charlamagne gives the side notes, little jokes and stuff like that. So honestly, to tell you the truth, they don't really need Jess because they got the funny guy. They got that. You know, this, if they want a panel full of funny people, and I don't even think Charlamagne is that funny, but if they want a panel full of funny people, maybe they thought that was the right look at the time, but no, it's not. Because Angela Yee, she did have that journalistic integrity. You know, she would try to deliver information or be accurate on the stuff she says. These three, they don't really care. Like, that's what she was hired for or whatever, right? And she just said it. Now, here's the thing. Your job hires you for one thing, right? They hire you for an entry-level position, right? Whatever it is, right? However, we know that your job, even though it tells you all the tasks of your job, we know they expect more out of you. They're going to throw some other stuff at you. You can be like, wait, this ain't a part of my job. I'm just supposed to do data entry, but you faxing, emailing, doing this and that. Like, okay, I'm not just inputting these numbers. Like, there's a lot more to the job. And I find it hard to believe, hey, we just hired you to do the Jess with the Mess segment. I find that hard to believe that they just hired her for that. Because hell, she could just still do that on Instagram. Why would they just hire you just to do Jess with the Mess? I don't know. I don't agree with that. I agree. Calling it Jess with the Mess and it's Loren doing it, I don't agree with that at all. Like, yeah, she was right to say, like, hey, change that. She was right in that. Like, them basically, Loren is doing her job. And so she's all like, if she's doing my job, why am I still here? Like, what did you hire me for? You know? Like, what do you need me for? She's doing my job. Now, that is definitely wrong. I agree with her in that instinct. But again, going on IG Live is not the best thing to do. No. And by the way, they don't talk about when Jess had said Charlamagne told her, like, oh, yeah, keep telling Loren to shut up because make it seem like y'all really got a beef, blah, blah, blah. They don't talk about that here. And I was like, damn, I wish they would have got in.
It was corny.
So people have been talking about it, and he's going to say it right now. People have been talking about the whole Jess and Loren situation. However, it was when Corey Holcomb had said what he said last week. That's when it got in her head. And I do believe she took the bait. You're right about that, Celebrity Scandalous. And shout out to you yesterday. You had a great show. Maybe make sure you guys follow my friend, by the way. Celebrity Scandalous. Now, again, I have to question this because did they have this conversation with her? Like, I'm missing something because if they had a conversation about this, why is this coming out publicly? Something isn't right in this situation. It's either they had the conversation, Jess still felt a kind of way, so she came to the internet, or they didn't have this conversation in detail like this, and now they're putting it out publicly. Either way, they knew that this was going to bring ratings and this was going to bring views. They knew this. They knew it. But shout out to Celebrity Scandalous again. She said another thing they're not mentioning is she recently received backlash for talking and making fun of the little boy. Oh, yeah. You're right about that with the whole, because I know what they did was actually take that audio out so you can't see it no more, but people still got the clip of it floating around the internet. But the Breakfast Club, they took that out. So yeah, you're right. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. All right, let's go back to it. And 10 times even worse. And I felt like, and that's the other thing too. I agree. I don't think it's a professional platform. It's like when Jess said it was high school. Oh, I believe her. I don't think she's wrong about that. I definitely believe her. It probably is high school. Okay. Oh, that got music. I'm glad I didn't play that. Okay. Let's go on to the next clip. And this is when Loren is joining the show, and then they get a conversation. Because remember, Jess on her live was all like, yeah, I told her to shut up because she always over talking me. Anybody tell me to shut up at work? What? Excuse me? It's one thing when you're playing around like, ha ha ha, shut up, But if you tell me shut up, oh no, we got an issue. We got an issue.
DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, Jess Hilarious, Loren LoRosa is here. We're having a conversation because Jess Hilarious went crazy on.
And let's be honest about something too. When Loren comes to work, Loren is always coming dressed up and she's beautiful. And I'm not saying Jess is not beautiful, but Jess, she literally looks like a mom. And shout out to all the mothers out there. But Loren, when she gets there, she comes dressed, prepared. And yeah, it's a radio show technically, but there is the element that they put on YouTube. And let's be honest, Loren looks professional. Sex appeal, it's still a thing. You a woman, you gotta look the part. You gotta look good. I'm sorry. You can't just come in there looking raggedy and over in sweats and shit like that. You gotta look the certain part. You are the woman in the group, so you have to dress up and look nice. I'm sorry, it's still those roles and shit like that. You still have to look the part. Yeah, it's a morning radio show, but you still got to come in there dressed up and stuff like that. You just can't be coming in there just looking how any kind of way you want. Code of conduct, dress code, exactly. Charlamagne and DJ Envy, they can do that because they've been there a long time. I'm thinking Jess probably only has that contract for like for a year. I don't think she got like a contract like, hey, I'm signed on for 5 years and stuff like that. Like literally, even though she got the job, you're still auditioning. I highly doubt they signed her on a contract like for 3-5 years or something like that. I'm thinking her contract is probably only for a year. Like, we still testing the ropes and seeing how this works out. And don't forget, a contract can be broken. So don't forget that. And again, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything like that, but I'm just saying, Kiki, you're right about that. Kiki, Angela wasn't dressed up, but Angela had been there. Like, she earned her spot. Like, she's been there with the guys. Where compared to Jess, she just got there, and then you got the new booty there, and the new booty is coming and showing you up. Like, at least we know, at least if we know, hey, you might not have this journalistic some blah blah blah. At least give us the sex appeal. You gotta offer something else. She already can do. You know what I mean? You gotta offer something. Jess, for the last month or so, Jess has just been there. She has just been there. And again, what I'm talking about is, of course, her being a woman, it's not going to be fair. It's not going to be the same. You know, I'm not saying DJ Envy and Charlamagne dress up or anything, but however, her being the woman and her being new and just being there, they expect more out of her than they are the men just in general. But overall, since she's still there, this is the way the workforce work, y'all. I know y'all don't like what I'm saying, but what I'm saying, don't I know y'all think I'm just a YouTuber, but I didn't work before I became a YouTuber, y'all. It's just how it is. And by the way, I respect everything that you guys are saying. I hate that it is that way in the workforce, but all those things, all those stereotypes, all those narratives that they put on women, it's still a thing. It has not gone away. I know technically this is the entertainment business, but it's still a thing. It's still prevalent. Now, I ain't been in the workforce in like 4 years, but I'm pretty sure it's still a thing, right? And shout out to Celebrity Scandalous. She even said she's more educated than most of the men there, and still probably doesn't get paid the same, and still has to be a billion times smarter than the other people. Has to come in dressed, put a smile on her face, even if she's not feeling great. Still has to put a smile on her face, like everything is fine. Can't speak up because if she speak up, she's gonna be told that she's angry and so forth, right? Like there's still those things. And and regarding the sex appeal, I'm not. And shout out to Miss Kitty. I'm not saying like, oh well, why does sex appeal? It's a part of it. It's video. Like for example, I understand why a lot of the girls on YouTube are just avatars because, again, you guys have to get dressed up and stuff like that. You have to do more to than just come on camera, right? So I understand, like, hey, I'm gonna just be an avatar because I got time to dress up and shit like that. So I get that it takes more. It's not just as simple as, okay, I can just come on whatever, because if you just come on and say whatever, people judge you. You know, they say, "Oh, ooh, look at you this, you that," like because it's all about appearance at the end of the day. I hate to say it like that. Even with me, remember, they were all like, "Oh, AT2, I like the white sweater on you and stuff like that." Like, even for men, looks are essential. Like, you have to look the part. You know, look professional. Looks do matter. I'm not saying you got to be the hottest thing, but looks are a part of the job too as well. Crazy having somebody tell you shut up. Like, huh? Like, shut up. Like, be quiet. And like, here's the thing. Afterwards, you can pull somebody to the side and be like, hey, you know, you kind of be interrupting me when I be talking. Please just let me finish my thought. Also, too, here's the thing. And this happens on YouTube a lot. More TV and stuff, people are better at this because they have a producer telling them, like, wrap it up, we gotta go. But on YouTube, you know, there's sometimes you'll have people on your panel and they're very long-winded, and it's like, shut up and let me get in or be able to say something, and they just keep going and going and going. Yeah, sometimes I want to be like, shut up, but I don't do that because I realize that is rude, right? But with that being said, maybe they're pressed for time, so Loren's trying to get in her stuff while Jess is still going and going and going, or Charlamagne is interrupting, trying to get in his stuff, blah blah blah. You know, it takes a long time, but you got to be able to have that skill to deliver a message very quickly and on time because you guys are on time restraints. So I can see that probably being the issue, but to flat out just tell somebody to shut up, it's like, yeah, that ain't right. And you know, I didn't mention the whole baby thing because I know that probably played a role in all this. When they gave Loren the opportunity, they kind of seemed like, oh, wait, she's something that we needed. And mind you, they're always doing the not crowd surfing, but they're always testing the audience. And so they probably tested and seen that, oh, a lot of people are receptive to Loren. They pay attention to the comments, commentary, Twitter. They pay attention to all that. So they're seeing that everybody is loving Loren. Yeah. Oh, and I also want to say something too, because I know some of y'all were saying, well, DJ Envy and Charlamagne, they should have the same, blah, blah. Yes, it should be equal across the board. But if they do budget cuts, who's getting cut out of Charlamagne, DJ Envy, and Jess? Jess. She would get cut. So yeah, she's not on the same level as them. Those two are the stables in the show. Jess is still fairly new. Like, if Charlamagne was to leave, it would be hard to replace him. DJ Envy leaves, that wouldn't be so hard. But if Charlamagne left, it would be hard to replace him, to get somebody of that likeness. If Jess was to leave, they already got Loren. So again, if you're disposable, they will dispose you. Jess did mention in her live yesterday that she didn't like when she first came back. Loren wanted to address what was going on because, Loren was all like, I hate that they pit two black women against each other, blah, blah, blah. And Loren was coming off really cool to me, like, we speak all the time, blah, blah, blah. And Jess is saying she didn't like that. She didn't like that she addressed what's going on. But yet, fast forward to yesterday, Jess is addressing the stuff that's been in the comments. One thing that I want to point out, I do believe that if this was DJ Envy and Charlamagne having an issue, this wouldn't have been on camera. But I feel like they like the fact that two women are fighting each other and they're getting a kick out of it. That's how I honestly feel. I feel like they're getting a kick out of this. Like, oh, look at them. They're fighting, the ratings are going to go through the roof now, blah, blah, blah. I feel like they like this because, again, the Breakfast Club, the last time I tuned in, they had Wendy Williams. Other than that, their interviews have been kind of like hit or miss, right? If it's nothing like breaking news, we kind of don't care that much. All right. So I haven't looked at the one where they had the callers call in and stuff like that. So this is my first time watching it with y'all. So let's go ahead and take a look. And please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's go. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, this is the same one. That's why. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Here we go. Caller's opinion. Oh, so here we go. So is she the producer or is she the on-air talent? But I guess Charlamagne's saying she's both. So yeah, in that case, they don't. Well, shit, that proves the point. They don't need Jess. Again, I don't think Jess is wrong for the way she's feeling. Her going on IG Live is really the problem, right? That's really the problem. Her going on IG Live with her grievances. Like, if your baby is 18 years old, do you still got postpartum? Because I heard, never mind. Let me not even get into it. Let me shut up before y'all start dragging me in the comments, jokes and stuff like that. This is actually pretty serious because this definitely could have got turned. Wait, I never know how to say your name, but Coyote, don't you hate me? Y'all think I'll be forgetting who be hating AT2? Don't you hate me? And then y'all be popping up in my chat like we cool. Hold on. I think it's you, but Breakfast Club, because from what I'm understanding, they're all confused on what Loren role is, what it's not. Who's the hiree and the firee? That's what we really need to know. Who's the person at iHeart that's making the decisions? Because it seems like they're talking from a place where they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what to be there just to do Jess with the mess. However, if that's all you do, again, they don't need you there. They already got Charlamagne. Like I said, I don't even think Loren is her competition. Charlamagne and Jess are more on the same level than anything. They're competing for their job. Charlamagne already got the seniority. So at the end of the day, Jess is going to get moved out. Okay, so there's a few things. Again, I feel like if DJ Envy and Charlamagne were having an issue, they wouldn't have aired this out. They would have done this in private. But because it's the two women and they're expendable and it's kind of like, at the end of the day, who cares? This is why they're doing it publicly. And again, ratings, views, all that. Because, I mean, hey, we're here today talking about it. However, it's a whole issue. It's really an issue where nobody knows what the other person is doing. Everybody seems confused. I would feel a way if I came back and there's a person that, was the temp, but they're still there when I'm under the impression that they're leaving. They're taking my segment and they're basically doing everything and I'm just there. Now, some people are cool with just collecting their check. And maybe Jess should have been cool with just collecting her check, but she's not. She wanted to feel like she's more a part of the show. And I feel that with Jess, where she is, like, she wants to be on tour. She wants to do her comedy shows. She was just promoting her comedy show this morning. Like, she's going to be in Ohio or something like that. And she talked about earlier in another segment where you heard her say, like, oh, I love performing more than I do, being at the Breakfast Club. And it's kind of like, once you tell your job you love doing something other more than your job, it's over for you. That's career, ooh I. I can't say the word, but career ooh I. Because once you say I love doing this more than my actual job, well, why are you here? We don't really need you here. When you say that, it's kind of like, you're giving them a reason. It sucks, but it's the truth. All right, so it seemed like did y'all feel like they left this conversation on good terms, or do you feel like it's still left open in the air? Like, I think if anything, this didn't clarify nothing. I still feel Jess is pissed off. Jess doesn't like the situation. Loren feels uncomfortable as hell because she just got aired out, and it's all like, damn. All I was doing was trying to, do my job, but now it can never go back to being the same. It's never going to be a situation where, oh yeah, we're good tomorrow. No, it's always going to be an issue. And especially y'all made it a whole show, made it a whole segment or whatnot. Yeah, it's going to continue being an issue because I'm going to talk about it. The next person going to talk about it is going to keep on going. And especially when Corey Holcomb, I don't know if he already talked about it, but once he gets a hold of this, oh yeah, they're going to discuss it. There was already, before Corey, there was DJ Academics and also Joe Budden. So yeah, they're going to talk about it. Everybody is going to make this a thing because, again, you guys, aka Jess, made it a thing. If you didn't make it a thing, then, it just would have been internet people just talking on the internet. That's all it would have been. But you coming out saying something, you grew legs to it. Now this thing got about eight legs, and yeah, it ain't going to go away. So as I was telling you guys, I did post the live the other night, and I'm happy that I did. At first, I wasn't going to record it, but then I was all like, something tells me she's going to delete this. I don't think she's going to keep this. And of course, she deleted it. Hold on. Look. Oh shit, where my video at, y'all? Oh, I definitely don't want that video. And please continue to hit the like button. I appreciate that, you guys. Thank you. And this is for you who didn't see the original video.
As a producer, the boss, I called and I'm asking, all right, what's going on? Where's she going? Why is she not leaving? What's up? Why is she still on air? I was told that she was going to be the producer. She was going to be hired as a producer. Okay. Producers aren't on air though. So what's going on? Because we have a lot of producers up there already. They're not on air. What's going on? I've called and I've asked many times. That's what I got told. She's a producer. Oh, okay, cool. So I ain't asked no more. She's only on my segment. So I'm like, all right. I'm putting shit together. because that's what I do. I put shit together. All right, here we go. So Shorty must about to be on the show. That's exactly what I put in my fucking head. Before anybody decided to come and tell me again. So I did another round of asking. All right, what are we doing? All right, well, we've always, this is the boss. We've always considered having a fourth seat. Well, when the fuck was y'all gonna tell me that? When was your, and then this is months after I came back. This was like 2 months after I came back from maternity leave. We've always, ever since Angela Yee left, we said that we would consider having 4 seats. So why, when me and Claudia Jordan did the guest co-hosting, or me and Kendra G did the guest co-hosting, did everybody say, oh, it ain't gonna work with 4 people? Why, right? Why was that ever even said? Why wasn't that something that was presented at the jump, like from jump, at the top of the shit? That's what I want to know, right? But I'm still playing. I'm still here, mind you. I'm not playing the game. I'm just still here with it because I'm in this. This is a fucking contract. This ain't no part-time little shit that I got. I got a contract that I negotiated and I got it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm on air. She overtalks. She's over-talking me. Loren knows she does this shit. Whatever. I've told her about this shit many a times. She over-talks me. I'm like, yo, shut up. All right. Hush, be quiet. Yeah, that clip that y'all saw. Yes, shut up. Be quiet. That. You know what I mean? That's the only way to get it a hush. So I'm like, all right, cool. One day, I told her, because I went in the comments, I'm like, all right, people don't like that. All right, whatever. I'm not her mother. She's another grown woman. I have to respect this lady, but she's not gonna keep talking over me, yo. I'm already confused on why the fuck she's still here. You know what I mean? Like on air, not in the building, on air, right? So I'm like, all right. I told her, be quiet the next day. Charlamagne texts me and he says, yo, don't tell her be quiet. You tell her shut up. Play into that narrative of y'all beefing, y'all not liking each other. Why the fuck would we do that? But I'm like, you know what? All right, cool. She cool with it. I'm cool with it because I'm not a be quiet type of bitch anyway. I am a shut up type of bitch. Ask my kids, right? Even the 7-month-old, ask her. So then I asked again. I'm like, all right, so she's going to be the 4th host. That's what it is. Whenever we do find that, you know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of beating around the bush, y'all. So look, she started doing the news. I'm like, all right, look, that's her segment. Take me off that shit. Y'all give her that shit. Take me off that shit. This is her segment now. This is no longer just with the mess. Got dark fats as a mother. Okay. So I said, take me off that shit. This is no longer my segment. I said it. Take me off of that. Give it to her. Give it to her. Charlamagne said, nah, I don't want it to be her segment. It damn near sure is already. Like it's her segment. She's reading it and she's doing it to the best of her ability. Shorty is like that. Yeah. That's why I picked her to fill in for me for maternity leave. That's why I picked her. Y'all need to understand something. I'm never hating on Shorty. I already told her. I tell her every day. I tell her she's pretty every day. I tell her every day. I big up this woman every day. Every day. I don't have no reason to fucking hate on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this is the way these niggas is doing shit up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. Now, it's her segment. I went to the person who does the intros, the sounds and shit. I went to Taylor. Yo, Taylor, make Loren her intro. Take Jess with the mess, all that shit. She says, things can't just change like that. Why the fuck not? Why not? Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy ass don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity doo da day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name out that shit. Jess with the Mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Fuck, I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the Mess is not being done. Loren LoRosa is doing the shit. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? While her fans and her people and the Breakfast Club people and the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that shit. Are y'all crazy? One thing I ain't never try to do is act unbothered unless shit never bothered me. Man, what? You try coming back to work. You try to come back to work. And the motherfucker is right there at your desk. And ain't nobody telling you shit, mind you. Nobody telling you nothing, mind you. Before you know it, everybody thinking you're the villain. Like I'm the villain. Because I didn't know shit. I'm sick of that. I'm very, very sick of that. I'm sick of the shit. It's weird. It's weird. I don't fuck with it. Just be quiet up there. I'm not fighting over no mic space. I'm not fighting over no mic. That's why I went from shut up and hush to not saying nothing. No. I'm not gonna compete where I already won this competition. I didn't know it was supposed to be 4. If this was presented to me, prior to hire, then I wouldn't have been so shocked. Like, oh shit, all right, cool. So when we bringing in the 4th person, shit, that's what's up. Cool. It's only time for that segment. You know what I'm saying? We had a meeting today to restructure the show and shit like that. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That went crazy too. Listen. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of things that I deal with. I ain't expecting not one motherfucker to feel sorry for me because that's not what I'm looking for. I don't care. And I haven't said a motherfucking thing at all. At all. I haven't said anything. This is the crazy thing, yo. I'm gonna let y'all know this. The craziest shit is, right? I wanted Breakfast Club so bad. I wanted it. I grew up on the show. The fuck? Like, what? Hall of Fame show? What are we talking about? Syndicated? This ain't my first time doing radio, but I'm just saying, like, this is the biggest fucking show culturally. You know what I'm saying? I was eating that shit up the whole year I co-hosted, eating that shit up until I had to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a baby. In this industry, what I'm doing ain't no right time to have a baby, so you have them when you have them. I don't regret when I got pregnant. I don't. I got pregnant on fucking purpose. That's what I wanted, a baby, and that's what I got. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted Breakfast Club. You feel me? And I'm gonna say this. I don't fucking need to be there. I wanted to be there. I loved being there. That was my shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was my shit. I used to be happy as a motherfucker on the radio. Yeah, definitely. I'm not intimidated by no woman walking on this earth. I give a crown to that girl. If you listen to the show, you know. Nigga talking about she tried to be my friend. Excuse me? Ain't nobody trying to be no motherfucking friends. What are we talking about? We just naturally, organically became cool. Once I realized what the fuck was going on, like I said, my anger was misplaced. No, I did not like her when I first came back. I didn't. Even down to how I was supposed to return. Like, we had a whole plan on how I was supposed to come back. When I walk in the room, she never left. First thing she said is not, how your baby doing? No, that was envy. because he's the family man, right? How was maternity leave? No. That's not the first. The first thing that she talks about is the shit that was in the comments. What the fuck make me want to talk about the fucking comments first? I got a beautiful baby at home. Why? You know what I'm saying? So no, I did not like her when I first came back. I had to learn that Loren was not a spiteful person. Like, I'm like, I don't like the way you moving. I don't like, I ain't feeling this shit. We had a whole nother plan. I don't know what the fuck what that was in there, but that shit wasn't it. I ain't like that. We've made cool since then. That's it. Right? I compliment this girl every fucking day. Every day. And it ain't forced.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right there. And then you guys can check out the full thing, but I just kind of wanted to play it because a few things. I feel, and I agree with you, like, make it make sense. They don't owe her anything really, like, as far as them making decision to add someone on or to do this and that. They don't really owe her anything. However, I do get, hey, it would be nice to know the different changes or what's going on, because I'm under the impression this girl is temporary. Oh, okay, she's the producer. Okay, that's cool. Oh, well, now she's on air. It seems like from the conversation that Charlamagne and all of them have, they really don't know what's going on. They really don't know each other's job titles or what they're supposed to be doing. And that should be explained to you no matter what position you're in. As far as the structure of the show, that should be explained to you. Now, what Jess is saying about, she had a baby and all this, it's not just her having a baby. It's not that. Because plenty of people have had babies or whatnot. If they valued your talent, no one could ever come and, quote unquote, replace you if they valued your talent. Literally, what happened with Loren is by chance they noticed, like, hey, she offers something new. She offers something that we don't have. We need this girl around. We want to keep her. And so they found a way to get her up in there. Now, when they had tested Loren, I don't know why the first time, when they were still looking for a host, I don't know why the first time, it kind of was like, maybe not Loren, why they passed on her and went with Jess. I don't know. I think maybe because Jess has a following on Instagram, they look at all that, right? And so they thought, okay, well, she would be the right one to fit in the show. Boom. So they chose her or whatnot. Sometimes you get a second chance or another opportunity. And I feel like Loren wasn't necessarily looking to replace Jess. She was just all like, okay, I need to make sure that I bring my A game, blah, 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 and do the same stuff that she did with TMZ. She was used to coming with that journalistic background from being with TMZ. And so they realized, okay, well, they probably wanted to go in a more comedic role and then realize, okay, we need to turn this back around. And maybe we need to have, people be funny, but also we need that journalistic integrity. And that's where Loren came into play. Now, her being a producer and then being a talent, she can Loren delivers the news in a way that Jess, MV, and everybody else can't. They can't deliver it the same way. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. They cannot deliver it in the same way. So that's what happened. What y'all think? Type of DL to, oh my God. Vampire be going crazy. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end the show right there. Please go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This has been a fun show. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about this the next few days. Deuces, everybody.